UFC 317 just took place, and here is my full card recap. First thing I want to do is go over the bets that I placed, because, after all, that is the most important thing that we come to MMA YouTube channels for. And finally, after 8 weeks, I can say to you that we are profitable, okay? It might only be 0.08 units, but we are profitable. We bet on Brandon Royval, L. Okay, Renato Moicano, L. Vivian Araújo, L. Jacoby Smith by KO, L. Peyton Talbot, great underdog pick. Jonata Denise, Gregory Rodriguez, good parlay pieces. And Terrence McKinney and Pantoja made it look very, very easy for another easy parlay. So, after all the damage that came about, we came out of UFC 317 with a small 0.08 unit profit. As for picks, I went 8-3. My brother Fins Jr. went 7-4. So now for the year, I'm 147-116, and he is 156-106. So he's about 9 picks ahead of me. But I'm looking to cover that ground as the year progresses. Now let's go fight by fight, just discussing every single fight and what we can take away from it. Jonata Denise defeats Alvin Hines by decision. So the first 2 rounds, Denise was just piecing Hines up. Hines, he is very durable. So if his next fight in the UFC is going to be against like a big power puncher, I might actually take Hines. His striking wasn't the best, but he did show heart, he did show durability, and he also won the 3rd round on all the scorecards. So Denise, though, I don't think I want to bet him in his next fight. Okay, he was minus 400. He kind of looked like a minus 150. And if he gets anyone that's UFC caliber, I feel like he's going to lose. So, on to the next one. Jacoby Smith defeats Nico Price by round 2 sub. Everyone and their grandma had Jacoby Smith by round 1 KO, including myself and my grandma. But it turns out that, when the entire world is on something, it does not hit. So, as soon as round 2 started, I knew shenanigans were going to happen. And Jacoby Smith wins by submission. So, yeah, Nico Price never really stood a chance in this fight. Terrence McKinney taking on Vyacheslav Borshev. I predicted this one to a T. I thought Terrence McKinney would just take him down immediately and sub him. And guess what? It only took him 55 seconds to do so. If you had bet Terrence McKinney to win in the first 60 seconds, I believe that was like a plus 5,000 bet. Because you don't really see people win in 60 seconds often, other than Terrence McKinney. Ava has no ground game. Terrence McKinney exploited it. Turns out we don't have to answer gas tank issues about Terrence McKinney just yet. On to the next one. Vivian Araújo lost the decision to Tracy Cortez. Of course, I picked Vivian Araújo. I took the dog shot on the female underdog. And if I hadn't picked Araújo, I would be in the upper echelon of YouTube predictions because I would have gone 9-2, and almost everyone went 9-2 that did good. So, kind of regret this pick. I thought she'd show some veteran savvy. She was looking good in the first round, and then Cortez just kind of swallowed her, no pun intended, with her wrestling as the fight progressed. So, on to the next one. Jose Delgado knocks out Hyder Emil in the first round. It was due. I think we all knew it was due. Jose Delgado had crisp striking. Hyder Emil throws punches with his chin in the air. It was a matter of time before he got put up against a power puncher that would knock him out cold very quickly. And it only took 26 seconds, and Jose Delgado knocked him out with a knee up the middle. So I'm really excited to see what Jose Delgado does next. My narrative prediction video, I said that I believe Jose Delgado should just get Lerone Murphy next without knowing the outcome. I said that without knowing the outcome. So Jose Delgado against Lerone Murphy, screw it. Let's just put new blood in the featherweight division and bump up Jose Delgado. Shout out to Hyder Emil, though, always putting on entertaining fights. RoboCop Rodriguez versus Jack Hermanson. I thought, RoboCop would win a decision based on damage, but it turns out he put on too much damage on Hermanson and got him out in the first round, knocked him out cold. That was a crazy outcome. I'm not sure what Hermanson does next. I guess they're just going to keep giving him like middleweight quasi-contenders that are outside the top 15. I kind of feel bad for him. He's about to be 38 years old, and he's coming off a big injury, and now he just got knocked out in the first round. RoboCop, though, he deserves to be in the top 15. I know he lost to Jared Cannonier, but if that fight was 3 rounds, he was definitely winning that. So shout out to RoboCop. I'm excited to see what he does next, always putting on entertaining fights. Peyton Talbot defeating Felipe Lima by decision, easiest pick of the card. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. People thought Felipe Lima was like Habib. They thought Felipe Lima was going to go out there and just wrestle smash Peyton Talbot. Well, Peyton Talbot's had 5 months to recover from that Ronnie Barcelos disaster, that terrorist attack from Ronnie Barcelos. And now, Peyton Talbot showed great takedown defense. He showed good top control. He actually looked pretty good in the ground. There was a couple moments where Lima had him like fully flattened out, and I was kind of worried. But Talbot was able to reverse positions, and Lima is a Granby roll merchant. Whenever he was in a bad spot, Lima would just roll, and that would give Talbot a better position. Also, when this was on the feet, Talbot was piecing Lima up as predicted. So shout out to Peyton Talbot, shout out to Frank Ocean. Moicano wins by decision. No, that is not what happened. That's what I predicted. But Neil Dariush won by decision. So about this fight, Moicano was minus 500 after round 1. He got a knockdown on Dariush. I thought I was in the clear. I thought this was going to be a very sharp pick of mine. Moicano was looking very good in the first round, but Dariush started offensively wrestling in round 2, in round 3, and Moicano's a BJJ nerd, so when he gets offensively wrestled, he kind of just jumps a Gilly, jumps a Kimura, and he lands on the bottom for the entire round. And that's just what happened in this fight. Moicano was just on the bottom for the entire round for the rounds 2 and 3. He got a knockdown on Dariush in the first, but he just could not overcome the wrestling coming his way from Dariush. So shout out to Dariush. Not sure what he does next. Probably gets knocked out by literally every lightweight ranked above him, and every lightweight ranked below him, he probably gives a good account for. So Moicano made his money. Now he doesn't care about fighting. That's just what it is. Brandon Royval winning by decision against Joshua Van. I thought this was a good first round. I know Joshua Van won. You know, he's landing the big power shots. Royval, the problem is he just has pillow fist, okay? You don't land 200 plus significant strikes in a fight and not wobble your opponent once. I mean, Royval put up over 100 strikes in the second round against Van, landed, and basically lost the round on all the scorecards. Like, Joshua Van is throwing with big power. He's sitting on his shots. The counters are there for him. Royval is getting clipped almost every time after he threw like a 10-piece combo. He just got clipped once, and the one clip was more than the 10-piece combo. So the judges were never scoring this for Royval. Bad pick by me. I figured, a 1 month's notice for Van. I figured, 13 versus ranked 1. Ranked 1 would actually win. And figured wrong. And Royval didn't even shoot for one takedown. Not like I thought he would, but you would think if you're getting completely destroyed in the feet, you would at least attempt the takedown. Maybe entertain the grappling. But no, this was standing for 3 rounds. Joshua Van wins. And now he's going to fight Pantoja for the belt. Pantoja submits Kara France in the 3rd round, completely dominates him over the course of 3 rounds. Complete domination. I didn't expect this. I thought Kara France would, have a slight chance. To be fair, I was getting sucked in by the UFC embedded narrative where it's like all of Kara France's guys are supporting him and he looks very good in training. Still, Pantoja is a dominant champion. And he's going to probably smoke Joshua Van. Joshua Van probably puts up a better fight than Kara France, but he probably still smokes Joshua Van in that next fight. Shout out to Pantoja, one of the best champs of all time. Of this era, yeah, but of all time as well. One more defense, and he's basically up there with Demetrius Johnson for GOATs. He's this guy in the pound-for-pound list. He was number 10 entering this fight. He should be in the top 5. And that brings us to the main event. As predicted, Ilia Topuria knocks out Charles Oliveira in round 1. Now, when I made this prediction, I really did not want this to happen. I did not want to see 3 check marks here. I would have liked to see Topuria check, KO check, maybe a round 3 check, but round 1, oh man. Well, Oliveira had some wrestling success for like 10 seconds, he got underhooks on Ilia, and I thought he was going to get a takedown, and maybe we're going to see like Ilia defend some grappling, but no, they get separated, and basically every time they were at distance, Ilia is throwing shots that will send you to the stratosphere. And finally, he connected on a 3-piece combo, got him with the hook, got him with the cross, and he basically KO'd Oliveira twice. Once on the feet and once on the way down. And usually when Oliveira gets knocked out, he does like this thing where he's like on his back and he's sitting there, and like the other person will entertain the guard, and then that's how Oliveira wins. Like he'll submit someone doing that. But here, he was completely flatlined, and that was insane to see. Topuria versus Patty next. I mean, who cares? Topuria's going to smoke him. Topuria versus Gaethje, he's going to smoke him. Topuria versus Holloway or Poirier, the winner, he's going to smoke him. Topuria versus Arman would be an interesting fight, but I still think Topuria smokes him. At this point, he just has infinite aura. He's 28 years old, not even 30. He's already been double champ and defeated 3 legends in a row, Volk, Holloway, and Oliveira. This guy might be one of the future GOATs of the UFC.